Hello, it is Sunday, fun day, November 3rd, 2024. Steve Cypress here, and I'm kind of smiling and laughing, thinking about finally the almost endless and tedious and repetitive and ridiculous campaigning season is almost over here in the United States. I live in one of the contested, what are they, swing states, the battleground states, ooh ah, here in Arizona, where we also have a Senate race going on. So, untold millions of dollars spent, wasted, blown, other than whatever you want to call it, on this campaign. I mean, it's like a private business. Back, it's like a price war between two competing businesses, right? If keep losing the signal up here in the mountains. Hopefully, I'll make it brief. But if one business says, "Oh, we've got the lowest price," and they lower their prices, then the one across the street lowers their prices back. That's the nonsense going on. Like, can't you guys grow up and figuring out another way to compete? But politicians never can. So they just keep pouring money into it. So I'm very excited to get the airwaves back, and anytime I flick on the TV, not have to see 4,000 negative commercials about everyone's personality, because who cares about anyone's personality? We're not voting for someone to go out to dinner with, voting for someone to enact policies and lead our country or our state or our town or whatever. Give me a break. So here's the deal. I mean, I have a feeling that there's just as much cheating, trickery, shenanigans, whatever you want to call it, going on in the voting process as there's ever been, except now it's no longer just election day, right? Election day started like weeks ago with early voting and drop boxes burning up from ridiculous unattended drop box voting. Who came up with that stupid idea? Mail in voting for everybody, even if you're not overseas. Who came up with that ridiculous idea? I mean, there's just so much more opportunities to cheat and more time to cheat than there's ever been before. But there's always been cheating in elections, of course. I mean, there's cheating at what elections is the only thing in all of human existence where there's no cheating going on. So, of course, there's all kinds of craziness going on. But now, since recent elections have been really close, everyone is heightened to all the shenanigans and chicanery and whatever, and everyone's got their cell phones with their cameras on them at all times. So all this stuff in their social media. So all these videos are making the rounds and this and that. And it's just very entertaining. But that all will come to an end in about 50 hours from now or so, when the first polls close on the East Coast and we first start getting some early election returns. But several states have already said, right, the governor's already said, oh yeah, no, we need time to cheat. Oh, well, they didn't say that. They just said, we're not going to release the results for like a week or a few days, or until we know just how many fake votes we need to bring in to sway the election our way. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. So I call that phase two of the shenanigans, cheating, trickery, whatever you want to call it, where all of the tabulations and the voting machines, oh, they're not hooked up to the internet, but of course they're hooked up to the internet, and so they're getting hijacked, or they're not getting hijacked. They're perfectly safe, and it's the most safe election I'm sure we're going to see again, the most safe election we've ever had in world history, while all the cheating and chicanery and shenanigans and trickery and whatever you want to call it is all going on. So that's phase two. At least all the nonsense commercials end, and then all of the behind the scenes cheating begins, and we see all of the fakeness, and the water mains break in the middle of the night suddenly, and oh, the ballots were printed on the wrong paper, and the machines just happen to jam in certain districts on election day that favor one party instead of the party in power, which of course had nothing to do with overseeing the fact that that's the wrong paper and the machines jammed and they weren't tested right and they're not working well and the lines are too long in certain places where the people are not in power, and where those people have a propensity to vote against the people in power. Oh, what do you know? It's all on the up and up, and it's all fair, and it's all great. So I'm a big political junkie, not caring really. I mean, I'm a business owner, so my livelihood does not depend on who wins or loses. I just change the tactics based on who's in power and what policies they're putting in place. So I have my personal idea of that I'd like to see more peace in the world, and I'd like to see more business owners not have to mess around with ever burgeoning big government and regulations and stifling small businesses. And I'd like to see more personal freedom. But it is what it is. What I enjoy is the whole game, the whole circus around the whole thing. So phase one coming to a close. I see some pundits recently on TV going, oh, less than 48 hours till election day. Well, first of all, can you give us the number? Like, you're live on the air. If it's less than 48 hours, can you say it's 46 and a half hours? I mean, you're live on the air. Second of all, election day started a few weeks ago, by the way. So nobody cares that it's election day. What matters is it's the end of election day. That's what matters when the polls close. And phase two of all the nonsense starts, which is the tabulation and the counting or the not counting or the throwing out of the votes or all the fake votes coming in the middle of the night in truckloads or being disallowed, or they find them a couple of days later. Oh, a box of ballots was just found in the middle of the street. It fell off a truck, or we forgot to count these. All that kind of fun is going to start in a couple of days from now. So I'm excited about that. Otherwise, just enjoying a relaxing Sunday fun day, catching up on a few things and hanging out with my beautiful wife, Michelle. And I will be back sharing some business tips based on, oh yes, not only just based on general direct mail that landed in my mailbox. That's right. Tomorrow is my semi-annual, every 2 years, overview of the political direct mail that has been bombarding my mailbox for the past month or two or so. I've got probably almost 100 pieces of direct mail. I won't go over each one individually, of course, that's not necessary, but I will share some tips that all business owners can use on how to use direct mail and what not to do with direct mail to screw it up based on the political mail that has arrived in my mailbox recently. That will be tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday. So I'm excited about that too. I can finally get rid of this huge, ridiculous, useless stack, almost useless stack of political direct mail that's arrived. Useful because I'm an expert in direct mail, and I teach how to use and how not to use direct mail. So, of course, it has that use, and it'll have use as creating the fodder for tomorrow's Direct Mail Monday video. But other than that, can't wait to chuck that stuff in the circular file, as probably you and every other American that has received the stuff has. I'm probably the only one that has kept any of it, and I will be sharing my thoughts based on that tomorrow on Direct Mail Monday. Thanks for being here today, and I will catch you tomorrow for that.